Yo, what's good? I'm glad you clicked on this video because you're one of the few viewers to see my face. Even though for now on I am going to be showing my face because I spent like $20 on a tripod. You think I'm gonna let money go to waste? Now today I want to be talking about why I feel like Luffy is different from the other big three protagonists. Luffy's probably my favorite out of the big three, with One Piece being my favorite anime, only second to Dragon Ball. Recently, I've been studying why One Piece is special to almost everybody that watches it. Besides it having over 1,000 episodes, because I don't care who you are, bro. If you watch a show for over 1,000 episodes, it has to at least be in your top 3. If not, you're really just wasting time. I don't know what you're doing. Now, obviously, Naruto has his way with words, being able to talk like crazy enemies down, like Pain, people that even have some of the highest resolve. He can talk down and make them think about the error of their ways. And Ichigo has drip and the unique ability to apparently be a part of every race in his show. Bro's a Quincy, Soul Reaper, Fullbringer. I don't even know how that's possible. Bro's Ancestry.com is going brazy right now. But why I feel like Luffy is so special and probably my favorite out of these three is because when we look at an anime, you have the plot, and the plot normally happens to the main characters, or really in any show. But in One Piece is very unique because the plot doesn't happen to Luffy. Luffy happens to the plot. Time and time again, we see Luffy go to these various different islands, for example, like Dressrosa, and you're learning about the background details of these islands. Everyone's being turned into toys. There's a very corrupt man manufacturing bad devil fruits that have horrible side effects. And the whole island's being easily controlled by the fact that if you turn into a toy, people literally forget that you existed, causing Doflamingo to really have a whole monopoly on an island. And he used to be a warlord, meaning he had a lot of push. But just like every other island before it, Luffy shows up. And I like how from Dressrosa, kind of like backwards, Luffy, people knew who Luffy was, but he kind of had like this like, oh, straw hat. We don't really know what he's capable of. Like, he wasn't really making giant headlines until Wano, for real. So they kind of just ignore him and make him seem like he's not that big of a threat. Then what happens every time? Once Luffy finds out the plot of these islands and what's going on, even though it has nothing to do with Luffy at all, he goes and he liberates the islands. Which obviously later on we learn his place as Joy Boy, which is what Joy Boy does in his legend. He liberates islands and brings smiles to people's faces. But ignoring his destiny, that's really just Luffy's character. He pops up and he steals the show. Then he's on to the next island. I feel like he's a character that's perfect for the world that he's in. He's not too serious, but when stuff hits the fan, he really knows how to tee up. Being in a pirate world where stuff is happening 24/7, you have to be a person that uses your actions more to your words. And Luffy always does this. Y'all remember in the latest episodes how quickly he jumped on Kizaru? He was not waiting. Or when he ran up on Kaido in a split second? He might have got folded in their first encounter, but still, I would want to follow a captain that's hands first, ask questions later. That's why everybody respects him on his crew. And his adventurous nature really just draws everybody in. Because without Luffy having to explicitly state it, all the Straw Hats knew that if they needed anything, Luffy was going to be there for him. I also like how he just matures as a character, and how unlike a lot of other anime characters, it didn't just seem instant. Because One Piece is so long, we get to see subtle changes in different characters. With Luffy, he was way more just carefree at the start until after the time skip, and especially after Marineford, spoiler alert, Ace's death, which leads us into the time skip. We see that he's way more structured and knows exactly who he needs to take down to get to that next level as a pirate, and pretty much going directly to take down the emperors, even though other outside forces kind of led him to that, like Sanji leaving, him having to meet back up with his crew in Wano. Once he got to those places, he instantly knew it was time for smoke. And also going back to my point about him maturing, when he seen Ace's death, he didn't do like a lot of other trope characters where they just power up and scream. He was broken, which is literally what happens in the real world. If we lost somebody, bro, we're not got to recover instantly. He was holding him in his arms, just crying. Then he passes out. And then later when he woke up from the shock, it takes Jinbei to calm him down because he's ready to crash out. I'm not gonna lie, I was spoiled on Ace's death, but I wasn't spoiled on how it happened. Watching Luffy not be as powerful as anybody at all, but still fought tooth and nail to get to his brother to the point where he did. Because it's Luffy's spirit that draws people close to him. Everyone was wanting to help him. That got him in front of Ace. And they literally got off the podium. I'm over here watching like, didn't they say he was gonna die? How is he gonna die? I did not expect for him to shield Luffy and get impaled in the stomach. A lot of people say that this death is stupid and could have been avoided, which I'm not gonna lie, I do agree, but I feel like it was pivotal for Luffy's character development. After that, he tees up, learns hockey, meets back up with the crew. In the arc after that, the Fishman Island, they were whooping everybody in that arc. They were showing us what they could do now. Bro's built different, but back to my whole overarching point, I just feel like Luffy's a character that goes with the wind. You really can't predict his next move, which I feel like makes One Piece worth watching, even with all the episodes it has. Keeps you intrigued because you never know what's gonna happen next, especially when Luffy's on the screen. And yeah, though I feel like it has a lot of episodes, and some people say, oh, that's not a valid argument, da-da-da-da-da. I watched One Piece during quarantine. That's how I got caught up. I'm now employed. I do not have that much freedom. But people saying that they can't commit to a show that long, I definitely understand. I feel like that is valid. But I feel like we gotta highlight how beautiful One Piece is so more people will watch it. And not just talk about it in One Piece knees, because the niggas not gonna know what we talking about. If all the discussions are just putting characters against each other, or talking about what the ending's gonna be, which I have no clue. Some people are like, the One Piece is really just the journey. And in reality, it really is. I mean, think about it. Whatever the One Piece is gonna be revealed to be is not gonna be as big as the whole series. I mean, that's just not possible. Let me know what you think down below. I'll be doing more of these face cam videos, bro. Just expressing my thoughts about different anime. The little commentary niche, throwing little memes up on the screen 24/7. I kind of got tired of that, bro. I want to put more of me in these videos. And not only is it more authentic, it makes it easier to edit. And it's probably going to make me more consistent as well. Yeah, bro. Any discussions, bro, drop them down below. And we finna talk about it, bro. Peace.